Anime recap. Banished Prince returns to heaven to save his people from evil force. Lion clutches the mysterious ring Hua Cheng left him, wondering what it is. The ring's incredible beauty hints at its deep importance. Not having a safe place to keep it, Lion hangs it around his neck. He takes a few days to chill at Puki Shrine until Ling Wen calls, urging him to return to the heavens right away. She tells him to go to the Great Martial Hall, confirming that Jun Wu is back. Lion realizes he can't escape it and heads to the heavenly capital. As he walks along Martial Deity Avenue, he sees that all the heavenly officials act like he's invisible, deliberately ignoring him. But Lion is used to this and doesn't care, especially after the Banyu Pass ordeal. Suddenly someone calls out to a Royal Highness. Lion momentarily thinks it's directed at him, but the person hurries past to greet another heavenly official. The two notice Lion stare and turn around, the first one awkwardly acknowledging him. The other heavenly official offers an enthusiastic greeting before being nudged to leave and head to the Great Martial Hall. Lion eavesdrops on conversations and learns that the heavenly official, also a former crown prince, is Lang Qiankyu, the martial god of the East and former crown prince of Yang'an, the country that conquered Zional after its fall. Lion, knowing Lang Qiankyu had ascended and they would eventually meet, remains unfazed. Then another person calls out to a Royal Highness, but this time it's Ling Wen addressing him. She informs them that Pei Zhu is likely to face exile, a temporary banishment from the heavens. She also inquires about Lang Ying's whereabouts, but no trace of him has been found. They arrive at the Great Martial Hall, where Jun Wu greets Lion, drawing the attention of all the heavenly officials. As the trial regarding Pei Zhu and the Banyu incident commences, Lion engages in conversation with Jun Wu, believing the matter has been resolved. However, another heavenly official, Pei Ming, abruptly interrupts their discussion, declaring that the issue remains unresolved. Pei Ming, the martial god of the north, is renowned for his exceptional combat skills and infamous womanizing ways. He has amassed numerous rivals and detractors throughout the three realms. During his mortal life, he suffered a rare defeat in battle, prompting many to believe it was his end. However, he achieved ascension moments later. After exchanging greetings, Lion inquires why the issue remains unresolved. Pei Ming summons the wounded, soulless vessel of Zhao and Pei Zhu into the hall. Pei Ming, familiar with Pei Zhu's skills, is curious about the identity of the individual who defeated him in battle. Lion, present during the mission, feigns ignorance. Shi Qingshuan, another cultivator present, accuses Pei Ming of favoring Pei Zhu's account. Pei Ming summons Mu King and Feng Xin to examine the body's wounds. This marks Lion's first encounter with their true forms after 800 years. They confirm that the wounds were inflicted by Hua Cheng's scimitar, Yiming. Shi Qingshuan questions whether Pei Ming suspects Lion of conspiring with Hua Cheng to frame Pei Zhu, but Pei Ming denies this, suggesting instead that Hua Cheng may have deceived Lion. After the commotion, Jun Wu takes charge, directing the focus back to the Banyu incident. Pei Ming requests a reinvestigation, but Pei Zhu interrupts, admitting his wrongdoing. A heated exchange ensues between Pei Ming and Pei Zhu, but Jun Wu quickly silences them. He sentences Pei Zhu to 200 years of exile and promises to address the matter with Hua Cheng. He then dismisses everyone except Lion. Pei Ming warns Shi Qingshuan against interfering in such matters, but Shi Qingshuan retorts that Pei Zhu's actions are the root of the problem. Lion notices Lang Qiankyu dozing off during the meeting and gently wakes him. Jun Wu and Lion remain in the Great Martial Hall for a private conversation. Jun Wu observes Lion's maturity, reminiscing about their encounters 800 years ago. Lion struggles to let go of his past and fears becoming a burden, but Jun Wu encourages him to move forward and commends his efforts during the Ghost Bridegroom and Banyu missions. Jun Wu's faith in Lion's integrity prevents him from questioning his connection to Hua Cheng. As they walk alongside a mural depicting Jun Wu's temples, Lion observes the deity's widespread adoration. Jun Wu expresses his reluctance to send Lion on his next mission. He explains that the ascending fire dragon spell, a distress signal from a heavenly official, originated from the east. The recent meeting in the Great Martial Hall served not only to address the Banyu incident but also to verify the whereabouts of all gods. However, no irregularities were detected. Jun Wu confirms that the spell emanated from Ghost City, the Ghost Realm's most prosperous trading hub, attracting visitors from all realms. Lion volunteers to investigate the ascending fire dragon spell's origin in Ghost City. Jun Wu expresses concern about potential complications, as the East falls under Lang Qiankyu's jurisdiction and Ghost City is under Hua Cheng's control. However, Lion remains undeterred and accepts the mission. They agree that Shi Qingshuan will accompany him on this endeavor. Junwoo also informs Lion that he has commissioned a new palace of Zional to serve as his residence, eliminating the need for him to dwell in a modest shrine. Upon arriving at the lavish palace, Lion is overwhelmed by its grandeur, feeling out of place amidst such opulence. As he awaits Shi Qingshuan at the temple entrance, a male cultivator approaches and reveals himself to be the long-awaited companion. Lion, having never encountered Shi Qingshuan in his male form, is taken aback by his masculine appearance. Shi Qingshuan dismisses the significance of gender, emphasizing that physical attractiveness is the primary concern. Shi Qingshuan suggests that they alter their appearances to blend in during their undercover mission. Lion, having recently encountered Wind Master Qingshuan in the previous chapter, delves into a scroll to learn more about Shi Qingshuan's background and familial ties to Water Master Wudu. During their journey from heaven to Ghost City, Shi Qingshuan expresses his admiration for his elder brother and disdain for Pei Ming and Ling Wen. He wishes his brother would sever ties with these individuals and avoid being associated with the three tumors of heaven. Shi Qingshuan transforms into a woman, explaining that he possesses greater strength in this form due to the devotion of his worshippers, who primarily revere Lady Wind Master. They await the arrival of ghosts bound for Ghost City at a graveyard and encounter a group of ghost women seeking facial treatments in Ghost City. They are captivated by Shi Qingshuan's flawless complexion and inquire about her skincare routine. Lion and Shi Qingshuan successfully enter Ghost City but become separated. As Lion wanders the city in search of Shi Qingshuan, he is accosted by a prostitute soliciting his services. He deflects her advances by feigning impotence. Continuing his search, Lion stumbles upon the gambling den, where he learns that Hua Cheng, the city's lord, is spending the night. A gambling den attendant welcomes Lion, congratulating him for his fortuitous arrival during Hua Cheng's presence. Hua Cheng is engrossed in a dice game against a merchant, who has wagered his daughter's lifespan in exchange for riches. Having triumphed in the first round, the merchant stakes his daughter's marital prospects in the next round, seeking to eliminate his business rivals in case of victory. Meanwhile, Shi Qingshuan enters the gambling hall, having shed his previous disguise and assumed a new one. He cautions Lion against interfering with the proceedings, emphasizing that Ghost City falls under Hua Cheng's dominion. Before the merchant can cast his gambling die, he is interrupted by Lang Qianqiu, who has concealed his true identity as a heavenly official. Lang Qianqiu denounces the merchant's greed, criticizing him for sacrificing his daughter's future and marital opportunities. Hua Cheng responds with laughter, prompting Lang Qianqiu to inquire about his ownership of the gambling den. A voice from the crowd declares Hua Cheng's dominion over the entire city, leaving Shi Qingshuan stunned. Lang Qianqiu's anger intensifies, accusing Hua Cheng of lacking humanity for presiding over such a den of vice. Hua Cheng hints at his awareness of Lang Qianqiu's heavenly official status, causing both of them to panic over his revelation. Undeterred, Hua Cheng levitates Lang Qianqiu's body and suspends him from the ceiling, declaring that anyone fortunate enough to capture him can claim him as their prize. After consulting with each other, Lion decides to step up and place a bet at the table. He advises the ghosts to aim for the lowest possible dice roll. Lion attempts it himself and rolls 2 6s. An officer approaches and announces that Hua Cheng is modifying the rules, allowing everyone to bet against him. Lion volunteers to go first and is handed a black gambling cup. He feigns expertise by shaking the cup haphazardly. The bookkeeper relays Hua Cheng's observation of Lion's posture and offers to teach him. Hua Cheng emerges from behind a red curtain, revealing himself to Lion. His appearance is almost identical to his Sanlang disguise, except for a black eye patch covering one of his eyes. Out of everyone present, only Lion can perceive Hua Cheng's hidden presence behind the curtains. Hua Cheng poses a challenge, asking Lion to choose between betting on the lowest or highest dice roll. Lion boldly opts for the supreme roll. Hua Cheng then guides Lion's hand in shaking the cup, resulting in a high-value roll that surprises Lang Qianqiu. Lion attempts to shake the cup independently, but Hua Cheng critiques his posture, deeming it incorrect. With Hua Cheng's renewed guidance, Lion manages to roll 2 dice worth 3 points. However, Hua Cheng dismisses this attempt as mere instruction, leaving the heavenly officials and ghosts perplexed as to why a supreme ghost would dedicate time to teaching a mortal the art of gambling. Lion and Hua Cheng continue their game, replaying the dice rolling process multiple times. Lang Qianqiu, unable to contain his skepticism, interrupts, declaring that Hua Cheng's actions are likely a calculated ploy since there is no such thing as a correct posture for shaking dice. Hua Cheng brushes off Lang Qianqiu's remark and resumes the game, this time resulting in a roll of 10. Hua Cheng then inquires about the stakes should Lion lose the bet. After a moment of contemplation, Lion decides to wager a half-eaten piece of bread, justifying his choice by acknowledging his lack of possessions that could pique Hua Cheng's interest. The final round commences, and Lion lands a roll of 2 sixes, securing victory over Hua Cheng. The ghosts celebrate Lion's triumph, attributing his success to Hua Cheng's exceptional teaching skills. Hua Cheng finally releases Lang Qianqiu from his grasp, and Lion rushes to check on his well-being. Shi Qingshuan, ever cautious, remains concealed within the crowd, maintaining his invisibility to avoid raising suspicion. Hua Cheng emerges from the shadows, and only Lion recognizes his true form. Lion, maintaining a detached demeanor, expresses gratitude to Hua Cheng for releasing Lang Qianqiu. However, he internally acknowledges that Lang Qianqiu's capture was a consequence of his disruptive behavior within the gambling hall. Lion attempts to depart with Lang Qianqiu, but Hua Cheng halts their exit. The ghosts, intrigued by the duo's exceptional strength and peculiar behavior, urge Lion to investigate them further. Hua Cheng, however, interrupts, inquiring about Lion's intended gift, as he had lost a bet during the previous round. Lion acknowledges his defeat and retrieves a half-eaten loaf of bread, which Hua Cheng readily accepts. Overwhelmed by embarrassment, Lion and Lang Qianqiu hastily leave the gambling hall. They seek refuge in a deserted alleyway, where Shi Qingshuan, who had discreetly followed them from the gambling hall, emerges. Shi Qingshuan expresses his exasperation at Lang Qianqiu's impulsive decision to reveal himself before the master of Ghost City. Lion suggests they move on from the topic as it's futile to dwell on it now. Lang Qianqiu inquires about Lion's connection with Hua Cheng, perplexed by his simultaneously distant yet amiable behavior. Before Lion can respond, Shi Qingshuan speculates that Hua Cheng might intend to arrest them later, hence his seemingly friendly demeanor. Shi Qingshuan leads Lion away, leaving Lang Qianqiu behind. Shi Qingshuan proposes that they directly approach Hua Cheng, given their existing acquaintance, to facilitate their investigation in Ghost City. Lang Qianqiu, however, vehemently opposes Shi Qingshuan's suggestion of deceiving Hua Cheng about their true purpose in the city. He asserts that lying to a friend is unacceptable, and Lion, in agreement, nods in affirmation. Their conversation is abruptly interrupted by cries and a howl. A group of demons and ghosts frantically search for the bandaged boy. Suddenly, the boy gets caught and a group surrounds him. Lion walks up and shoves some ghosts away. He sees it's the same boy from Yujun Mountain. One ghost rips off the boy's bandage and makes fun of him. Lang Qianqiu gets mad at the mean ghosts and yells at them. They turn and attack Lang Qianqiu instead. Lion asks the boy if he's alright, but the boy screams and pushes Lion away before running off. Just as Lion wants to follow, the ghosts he shoved before come back. He watches the boy disappear into the crowd, then tells Shi Qingshuan and Lang Qianqiu he'll be back soon. He grabs his weapon and chases after the boy. Lion chases after the boy, but some ghosts surround him and cause a bit of a ruckus. In the middle of the fight, a guy named the Waning Moon officer shows up and tells Lion that the big boss wants to see him. The ghosts are surprised that someone so important wants to talk to Lion. Lion follows the guy to Paradise Manor, noticing a weird chain thing on his wrist. The place is gorgeous, with music playing and ladies dancing. Hua Cheng sits at the end of the big room and waves Lion in. Lion asks why Hua Cheng pretended not to know him at the gambler's den, and Hua Cheng says he didn't want to cause any problems for Lion. Hua Cheng offers Lion a seat, but Lion stops suddenly when he sees Hua Cheng's true form. Hua Cheng gets a bit stiff for a second when Lion says he doesn't think it's bad, but then quickly laughs it off and says he promised to show his real face anyway. Lion asks if the silver chain necklace is for him, and Hua Cheng says it's a ring and he can keep it as a toy. Lion thought Paradise Manor would be like a fancy neighborhood, but now it feels more like a stage play. Hua Cheng admits he's never been to a place like this. Hua Cheng hangs out at Paradise Manor when he has free time. Lion calls it a home, but Hua Cheng tells him it's just a place to live. A home needs a family. He says his Pukey shrine is way better because it's always bustling. Lion says he can visit anytime, then asks if Hua Cheng can help find a kid who might be from his land. Hua Cheng whispers to someone to find the kid. Lion apologizes for Lang Qianqiu messing things up at the gambler's den. Hua Cheng says he'll forget about the damage for his sake, and Lang Qianqiu can do whatever he wants as long as he keeps his face hidden from him. Lion wonders if it bothers Hua Cheng that so many heavenly officials are coming to Ghost City. Hua Cheng says it's fine because they're breaking the rules in his territory, and he doesn't mind if they cause trouble. Lion tells Hua Cheng the gambler's den could crush him. Hua Cheng doesn't care and says he'd rather someone like him run it than some random person. The waning moon officer shows up with the kid Lion asked about. Lion feels bad for scaring the boy and gives him some of Hua Cheng's fruit. The kid, covered in bandages, gobbles up the food like he hasn't seen food in ages. He tries to talk but can't make a sound. Maybe he hasn't spoken for years and forgot how. Lion wants to take off his dirty bandages, but Hua Cheng tells him to do it instead. Lion's hands shake a little when he sees the boy's face, all messed up with the human face disease. The bandaged kid whispers he's from Yong'an, and Lion gets a sinking feeling when he asks if the boy ever saw White No Face, his biggest fear for 800 years. Lion asks the bandaged boy if he knows White No Face, but the boy has no clue. Lion realizes he's been squeezing the boy's shoulders too hard and apologizes. Hua Cheng tells Lion to relax while two fancy girls take the boy away. Hua Cheng asks what Lion plans to do with the boy, and Lion says he's going to keep him close. Even though the boy is a ghost, Lion wants to help him talk and think straight because Ghost City is too crazy for that kind of thing. Hua Cheng says he has to go deal with some monthly mess he needs to clean up. After some arguing, Lion stays at Paradise Manor. Later, he wants to see the boy again, but finds himself lost in the garden instead. Suddenly, he sees Waning Moon Officer sneaking around like a shadow, acting all shady. Curiosity burning in his belly, Lion follows him quietly. They stop in front of a lady statue, and the officer throws 2 dice on a fancy jade plate. Lion figures out the password to the door. You need to throw 2 6s on the jaded plate for the doors to open. Before he could do that trick, Hua Cheng appears at the other end of the path. Lion admits he got lost while trying to find the boy again. Hua Cheng tells him he dealt with Kai Rong's troublemakers who were causing problems in Ghost City. He shows Lion a room filled with weapons, and Lion's eyes light up with excitement. They chat for a while, and then Hua Cheng introduces Yiming to Lion. It's a sword with a strange eye that squints like a crescent moon, almost like a human's. Hua Cheng says Yiming likes Lion, which is rare for this picky weapon. Lion gives Yiming a gentle stroke, and the sword seems happy about it. They talk about the weapons for a while, getting lost in the details. Lion and Hua Cheng head back to the bedroom in Paradise Manor. Lion asks the bandaged boy if he wants to stay and learn to be stronger under his guidance. Hua Cheng watches the boy from behind with a cold, judging stare. The boy reveals his surname is Ying, just like Xiao Ying's. Lion chooses the name Lang Ying for him, and the boy doesn't object, meaning he's okay with staying with Lion. Hua Cheng throws together a small feast for Lion. After giving Lang Ying a few dishes, Lion thoughtlessly gulps down a drink offered by Hua Cheng, but he spits it right back out when he realizes it's alcohol. Turns out the woman who offered him the wine was Shi Qingshuan herself. Like and comment if you enjoy this video. Subscribe to my channel for more anime recaps, and tell me what anime recap you like to see next in the comments below.